I didn't block her, didn't send a final message, didn't raise my voice or slam the door as I left. I simply walked away. When your heart grows weary of pouring itself into someone who doesn't meet you halfway, you stop chasing closure. You seek peace instead. So I chose peace over pain. Not because my love for her faded, but because I began to love myself enough to let go. I thought she'd moved on, that she'd replaced me without a second thought, that my absence barely registered. But one rainy night, I opened my door to find her standing there, drenched, silent, clutching remnants of a life I thought she'd discarded. Our love wasn't a wildfire, all-consuming and fleeting. It was steady, built on late-night conversations that stretched past midnight and mundane grocery runs, where we'd instinctively grab each other's favorite snacks. She knew me, my fears, my scars, the way my breath caught when I was on the verge of falling apart. Yet somehow it wasn't enough. Slowly, she slipped away. First came her silence, then her distance until I was the only one still showing up for a relationship that needed to. I asked her once what had changed. She just shrugged and murmured, "I don't know." That quiet indifference cut deeper than any argument ever could. So I let go. I didn't beg, didn't plea, didn't fight for scraps of affection. She called love. I packed my belongings, left the key on the counter, and with each step away, the weight of her apathy began to lift. Peace, even a lonely one, felt kinder than the ache of feeling invisible beside someone I adored. In the weeks that followed, I stitched my life back together. I savored quiet mornings, read books I'd long neglected, took walks without needing to justify my absence. Peace wasn't a destination. It was a choice, one I had to make again and again, especially when my heart ached for the familiar pain of her. I wondered about her sometimes, if she'd found someone new, if they had the version of her I could never reach. I told myself it didn't matter. She'd made her choice and I'd made mine. Then came that night. Rain tapped softly against my window as I brewed tea, a ritual to hush the restless quiet. A knock at the door startled me, gentle, unhurried. I expected a neighbor, maybe a misdelivered package. Instead, there she was, soaked to the bone, eyes heavy with exhaustion, holding a small box. Inside were fragments of me I'd left behind. A key, a worn concert ticket, a note I'd scribbled for her birthday, a photo of us caught in a moment of unguarded joy. "I'm not here to ask for anything," she said, her voice trembling. "I just didn't know where else to go." I stepped aside and she entered, hesitant like a guest in a place that once felt like home. We sat in silence, the kind that carries the weight of unspoken years. Then she spoke again. "I didn't replace you," she whispered. "I thought you did," I said softly. She shook her head. I tried to forget, to fill the emptiness. But no one felt like you. No one felt like home. Her voice broke as she continued. "I didn't realize how quiet my world was without you until you were gone." I looked at her, not the version I'd painted in my mind, not the one I'd blamed or mourned, but her raw and real, carrying regret like a second skin. "I hurt you," she said. "Not by what I did, but by what I stopped doing. I stopped showing up. I stopped trying. And by the time I saw it, you were already gone." Her eyes glistened. "I don't blame you. I wouldn't have stayed either." She reached into her coat and pulled out a letter. "I wrote this the night you left," she said, placing it on the table. "I couldn't send it. I didn't think I deserved to." She didn't ask for forgiveness. Didn't expect it. "I just needed you to know I never stopped loving you. I just forgot how to show it." I said nothing. Not because I felt nothing, but because the emotions were too vast to name. There were no sweeping gestures, no cinematic declarations, just two people sitting in the fragile space between what was and what might be. She stood, her movement slow. "I'll go," she said softly. "I'm sorry." She paused at the door, then turned. "Even if we never speak again, thank you for choosing peace. It showed me what I lost when I stopped choosing us." And then she was gone, leaving the letter behind. I didn't read it right away. When I did hours later, each word pressed against wounds I thought had healed. She wrote of fear, of self-destruction, of the guilt of being loved so completely and not knowing how to give it back. At the end, she wrote, "If you found peace, I hope I never disrupt it. But if there's a piece of you that still remembers us, I'll be here not to fix everything, but to try honestly this time." I don't know what comes next. I don't know if her words were enough, if I'll ever open that door again, or if peace and love can coexist. But I know this. Sometimes the people who shatter you return holding the fragments they didn't realize they'd kept. And it's up to you to decide whether gathering those pieces will mend you or break you.